Are narcocarridos dangerous propaganda, or is it poetry getting silenced? This is another episode of Under the Mexican Sun. We'll be talking about the culture and politics of Mexico. I'm your host, Javier, and today we'll be diving into the topics of banning narcocarridos and the growing effort to silence them. We're here with a guest today. He knows and is willing to share his thoughts on the ban on music. But first, we need to get some context of what is happening. In Tijuana, they voted to ban this type of music and performances in public places. Beso Pluma canceled its concerts because of this ban. This decision followed the threats from organized crime groups against famous artists like Beso Pluma, J.O.P., and others who have been canceled concerts after receiving death threats for performing. This ban was also banned by many states in Mexico, including Baja California, Chihuahua, Quintana Roo, Nayarit, and Jalisco. This also came as an intervention for the singers. They got fined or got their concerts canceled for singing the style of music in public areas. Just a month ago, a group called Los Alegres de Barranco were performing in a concert in Jalisco. This event included pictures of famous cartel leaders after videos of the performance reached social media. Legal riots followed, and recently they had their visa taken away from the United States. The group can't leave the state they're in Mexico. They also had a fine of 1.6 to 1.8 million pesos, or around 92,000 US dollars. Now that we have more information on the ban, let's introduce our guest, Caterino.
Hello, guys.
Alright, nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope we can have a nice talk. First of all, thank you for having me here in today's episode. As you explained before, we will be talking about the ban on narcocorridos.
But first, what are narcocorridos?
Well, corridos are historical acts told musically. There are many types of corridos, but the ones we're going to be focusing on today are narcocorridos. Narcocorridos are basically based off of stories of narco leaders and members.
Alright, speaking of narcocorridos, let's talk about the singer Luis R. Conriquez, who recently got backlash because they followed through with the ban.
So what happened with Luis R. Conriquez was that he got attacked by his fans for not singing corridos at one of his concerts in Guadalajara. Even though he announced this news on his social media, fans still wanted to listen to corridos. Luis R. Conriquez was one of the only artists who complied with this ban and showed his resilience with the Mexican people. Many artists are now doing special concerts where they don't actually sing the lyrics, but rather have the fans do it. This saves them the penalty of getting in trouble.
That's nice and all, but I think the government will do something to stop this. Tell me more about this ban. Will old corridos end too?
I don't think we're gonna get a ban on old corridos. I certainly do think we're gonna get a stopping point, like a recession.
Tell me more about this. What are your opinions on the ban?
Well, I personally don't think that banning the corridos is gonna help the government and something that has been happening for many of years. I certainly think we should get more control over the lyrics that the singers use in their songs, but overall, I don't really support this ban.
Really? Because I think they should have free will and be able to use their lyrics in any way that they want. Because there is no direct connection to lyrics being related to the drug epidemic that's happening in Mexico and the United States.
You have to understand that when there's young children listening to music, they get inspired by the stories they hear.
Often, songs about drugs are just not about glorifying narco culture and drugs. They're criticisms of government's failures, corruption, and the violence that ordinary people suffer. By censoring those songs, authorities might not just be banning drug content, they may be suppressing criticism of every system that allows drug trade to thrive. These rob citizens of the chance to hear different perspectives and question the status quo.
Listen, I'm not saying that singers should be told what to say in their lyrics. I'm just saying that they should have more caution about what they say in their lyrics. When you have a famous person telling you in a song that they were extremely poor and after they got into the cartel, they became extremely wealthy or rich, what do you think the young audience is going to do? I'm not saying that the singer should be told or get silenced on their lyrics. I'm saying that they should be more cautious.
Okay, but music is a form of art that reflects society, its struggles, and its realities. For many Mexican singers, especially those in genres like narcocorridos, singing about drugs is not about glorifying crime, but documenting a harsh reality.
Okay, lock in here. When you have singers that are very influential people in public, with influence comes responsibility. And what do you think is going to happen when you have an influenced person talk about gore and violence or crime in an area? It's going to increase the violence.
All right. Listen. While it's true that artists have influence, it's not their job to hold responsibility to the people who they sing it to. Those are rooted deeper in politics, economics, and government failures. Censoring singers for discussing drug-related topics distracts from the real cause of crimes and violence, such as poverty, which is a big thing in Mexico, lack of education, and systematic corruption.
Neither are completely right or wrong. But talking about politics is a thing for another episode. Thank you for having me here today.
Alright, well, thank you for having here. Thank you for coming here for another episode. It was nice having you here, Caterino, for this episode of Under the Mexican Sun. I hope to talk to you more again.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Alright, well, that's the end of today's episode. Thank you for listening to another episode of Under the Mexican Sun. And cut. My ass.
Oh, my knees damn hurt, dog.